Liberals are admitting what we knew all along. In the New York Times, Yale law prof Samuel Moyn conceded the years-long effort to vanquish Donald Trump in court was a dismal failure. For liberals like me, it may be tempting to attribute the collapse of the various cases against him to convenient explanations of process or personnel. The more uncomfortable truth is that our search for political salvation primarily through the law has backfired. Big time. And today, New York Judge Juan Merchan granted Trump's request to file a motion to dismiss the charges and removed his sentencing date from the court schedule. And of course, we already know that Jack Smith is closing up shop at DOJ. Joining me now, Saul Weisenberg, former deputy independent counsel, along with Mike Davis, former clerk for Justice Gorsuch, founder and president of the Article 3 Project. Mike, let's start with you. Is this really the end of lawfare, or are they just regrouping to fight another day?
What I think needs to happen, Laura, is there has to be severe legal, political, and financial consequences to this republic-ending lawfare and election interference by these Democrat operatives, so this never happens again. And I think that includes a probe by the Trump 47 Justice Department under 18 U.S.C. Section 241, conspiracy against rights.
Saul, do you agree with that there must be consequences given the political nature of these? Because Alvin Bragg was saved from embarrassment. He was going to be reversed. He caught a break. Even Eli Honig from CNN said that, given the case's inevitable demise. But does there need to be an investigation of these cases and investigations?
Well, there need to be consequences if consequences are appropriate, and the way to find that out is to launch an investigation. It doesn't mean that you automatically launch an investigation of every single case that was brought against President Trump, but at a minimum, you need to have somebody looking at it and to make sure that it was done in a proper way. And so much of what was done was openly political and openly improper, in my view. Is there anybody who believes the New York State case would have been brought against anybody other than Donald Trump? And what does it mean when Jack Smith tries to skip part of the normal appellate procedure and basically says we're doing it so that we can have a case before the 2024 election? So I certainly don't believe we should wash our hands of it and say we're not like the other side. I think we need to look very carefully into what was done.
I agree. That is a great point. Jack Smith also urged the court, and Judge Chutkan agreed, to release that partially redacted superseding indictment, Mike, which also, again, right before the election, to Saul's point, clearly a political move. That can't happen anymore. Period. End of story.
Yeah, it's amazing that they said that the election has nothing to do with what they're doing with these cases, and then right after the election, they want to cut bait and shut down these cases. That proves that this was election interference all along.
Saul and Mike, we'll continue this next week. Thank you very much.